Let me get this straight. Canadians and Europeans don't want to travel to the United States right now. Yeah, that's right. And guess who's bothered about it? The MAGA is bothered about it. Why? Why doesn't nobody want to visit the beautiful United States? Well, shit, they think it's horrible here right now. They can care less. They think it's a lot of drama and all kind of other things. But let's go ahead and check it out and see what people are talking about.
Tell me I'm not the only one that feels like this, but as soon as I cross the border and enter America, something clicks and I just don't feel safe anymore. It's like a filter of violence just like passes my eyes. Also, being in America feels too real. Like it feels like damn, this is what the movies are about. We're really in some real shit right now. Once you enter America, it's like you're not watching from the sidelines anymore. You're in the bullshit. Like, I get why they have guns. I don't feel safe right now. What the fuck? Canada's like the minor leagues. You know, it's chill, but you know what I'm saying? It's like the same, but it's like a little different. America's the major leagues. This is where shit goes down. You know what I'm saying? America just feels too name brand. Like, it's like Canada's vaping, America's smoking cigarettes.
What's the weirdest thing about the U.S.?
Everyone could just shoot up each other as one.
Bro, why does everyone think that?
That's because, man, bro, the gun laws are so relaxed in the United States. Anywhere else, man, you're not gonna have all gun, like people aren't carrying like that. That's not what it is.
Everyone
like.
just shoots up each other. That's it. That's it. That's what.
That is sad, but like, does that scare you? Like, do you get scared going to the U.S. or have you been to the U.S.?
Nah, I've not been, but nah, it don't scare me. Like,
It doesn't scare you?
Nah.
Okay, so being a tourist, having an accent, you think you're safe in the U.S.?
Yeah, for sure. Like the UK, the thing is, if a US person's coming here, they're probably thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get stabbed." Right? That's the thing.
Hot take. In an alternate universe, you live in New York. What's safer, New York or London?
London's safer.
London's safer?
London's safer. Yeah.
I second that notion.
Yeah.
Why?
I listen to too much rap music from the US to know that it's not as safe as
Really?
Yeah.
So, I don't know about you guys, but me, as a European, I'm pretty scared of traveling to the US. I was thinking about going to the World Cup, but that's not an option. Like, chances are pretty high that I'm gonna die. Killed by ice. Like, what we are seeing currently in the US, the last 2 weeks, what happened in Minnesota, this literally feels like Nazi Germany. If they kill US citizens, then what are they gonna do to foreigners? Especially so freaking many that are planning on going to see the World Cup games.
Imagine coming here as a tourist and still getting hit up by ice.
Yeah, I don't know. This is... What the fuck is happening in the US, man?
Bro, I don't know.
What do
man.
most Canadians think about America? So when you're in Canada, what do most Canadians say about Americans? Like, what's the general street thought of Americans?
Their geography isn't good at all, actually. So they don't.
The geography?
Yeah, like people don't know where other countries in the world are and stuff. Usually Americans don't know. So I would say that, yeah.
So you think Americans are stupid?
Not me, but I'm just saying.
No, that's a general consumption. Probably they all think we're rednecks shooting off at the hip, man, and all kind of dumb stuff, man.
Had now
Wow.
a few times with Europeans is how they are legitimately afraid to come to America because of guns. I am anti-gun, always have been, always will be, and I will say it proudly. But even being anti-gun, I still didn't realize that people truly won't book trips to the US because of this fear. But it's a perfectly valid fear because we're one of the worst countries in the world for gun violence, which is not funny, and I'm not laughing at that. It's just ironic. But every time somebody says it, I'm like, whoa, oh, right. That's crazy, but it's not. And a bunch of Americans are over there like, be safe in Europe. Like, yeah, I will, because it's safer.
It's
There's
definitely
so
safer,
much
probably.
fear-mongering
More gun regulation
in America right now, and it just is so interesting to me that people still truly think that traveling to other first world countries is more dangerous than being in any major city in America.
Wow.
Because
Damn, that's a hit.
statistically, it's for the most part really not. I feel way safer here in Spain than I felt in New York City in the last 4 years. And when I speak to people from countries in Europe, it usually goes something like, oh yeah, we don't really have to worry about that. and I don't really want to get shot, so I'm not going to go to America.
Wow, that's what people really think. They're just gonna go to America. Get shot. Now the ICE thing does make sense. I can see why somebody's genuinely said there is too much stuff going on and has been going on for quite some time now. And the orange man, this regime is taking a lick for it. Some people are saying like, hey, I've read articles that, you know, as long as Trump is in office, we're not traveling. As long as Trump is in office, we're not crossing the border. There's a lot of stuff going on, and people feel much safer just staying put and traveling to other countries. It's crazy. Now, before we jump into this next clip, don't forget to hit the like button on the video, hype it if you have a hype, comments where you're watching from. I appreciate you, and sub. Don't forget to sub for more videos like this. Let's just jump right back into the clip.
Yeah, I don't know what Trump said or did to Canadians, but they don't like him. And they don't like America, for that matter.
Nope.
Not MAGA, not America. They don't like MAGA. You can see some Canadians said they won't shop here. They're not going to buy American products in Canada. They're not going to do business with Americans or come to America to do business. So basically, cutting off America altogether. All these Canadians responded back to me, and it's crazy that we've alienated our neighbor to the north that we've had good relations with for years, for decades, for no reason now, just because DJT wants to tax and tariff and scare and tactics, and it's ridiculous how we've alienated ourselves from the rest of the world. And in particular, MAGA is painting itself into a corner of the world, a tiny little corner of the U.S. and the world, to where they won't be able to come back out. The Chinese summit showed the rest of the world, 20 nations, came together in order to form a new union, a new way of doing business and conducting themselves without the Western influence, and in particular, without the U.S., most likely due to DJT.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I don't know if it's because that man said Canada could be the 51st state of the U.S. or what he said, but why go out of your way to intentionally alienate the country from its direct northern neighbor when already you're alienating the U.S. from our neighbor to the south? Why would we paint ourselves into this corner of the world where we're alone with very few, if any, allies, and intentionally?
Look, I mean, it's just the leader of the bill. Like, these other countries are, I wouldn't say they are fearing Donald Trump, but they can just care less about this man, okay? They're just, you gotta take, of course you gotta take whatever he says somewhat serious, but you gotta sit there and wait for the proof, you know? You get what I'm saying? But people, a lot of just think he's just, you know, a loudmouth, you know, person that is arrogant, and he does have the entire U.S. behind him. And it feels terrible that we have to alienate Mexico, Canada. Now, I get it. I'm all for domestic job, like, you know, us staying within the domestic, you know, in the United States for products, goods, and services. Do I say we increase that? Of course, okay? That is fine, but it doesn't mean killing every single relationship that we have across the world.
Many U.S. tourist destinations that have previously relied on Canadians to visit the area, wherever the tourist attraction was, have decided to stop all marketing to Canada and to Canadians. And the reason for this is quite simple, is that Canadians will not visit the United States of America under the Trump regime. And so they've decided to try to save themselves some money and stop marketing and promoting their destinations to Canadians, because after 1 year of the Trump administration, they now know that Canadians will not visit them. Folks, the source for this is CTV. Let me know what you think about this in the comments.
Earlier this month, the Washington Post reported that New York tourism director Corey Graham gave up on trying to promote travel. Fram and his wife, they live in New York. They used to regularly travel across the border and have dinner in Canada. Well, now Fram is saying they're not exactly getting the warmest of receptions, and they don't feel welcome by Canadians anymore.
Probably
he told
not.
The Washington Post, quote, Canadians are pushing back against American iconography and American culture. Stacy Ritter is the head of Visit Lauderdale in South Florida. She told the Washington Post, quote, for the nicest people on the planet who are Canadians, the language is strong. There's a lot of anger out there. So Ritter's agency is reporting there's been a 35% drop in Fort Lauderdale hotel bookings for the month of May. Ritter told the Washington Post, quote, "I'm not sure the administration thought this through, but this is an unintended consequence that may or may not have an impact." Yeah, it will have an impact. I can answer that for you.
Yeah, that means your rates are going to go up at hotels. You're not going to get the best service because they're firing people and laying off people because at the end of the day, they don't have enough, they can't afford the staff because rentals are down, vacancy is up. It's a lot of a domino effect right now of what's going on. And this is just pieces of what other people say about us. Like, not only that, well, we're going to get into the next clip soon, but it's just a shame that we still have to put up with such a negative, I guess you can say, connotation on just U.S. in general. Now, when you get out there and you go travel and you're like, I'm from the U.S., you know what people are saying? Oh, I feel sorry for you. Oh, I feel sorry for you. It used to be you can go around anywhere else and be like, I'm from the United States, and they would ask you questions about movies and food and all this stuff, but you don't get that no more. Crazy. All right, let's keep watching.
So guess what's #1 trending right now? So on Google, everybody is searching up "move to Canada" is literally skyrocketing after Donald Trump becomes the president of the United States.
Okay, I remember this. People were ready to move. I can't believe that was a thing. People were ready to move because this man became their president. And look, I'm betting people are still considering that move now.
And it is a really interesting time to be an American in Paris. My dad calls me yesterday and he's like, "Are you safe? Like, how are you feeling right now? Because the world really doesn't like Americans right now." And I have dual citizenship with the EU and the US, so I always feel kind of safe that I can speak German if I ever don't want to be identified as American, which is so sad and embarrassing to say, but here we are. And I honestly haven't noticed anything crazy. I felt safe. I haven't really felt any like political disruption, and actually the Parisians have been really nice. With that said, I've tried to speak French in restaurants, etc., as much as I could. But the one thing I did notice, which was really interesting, after the whole Oval Office, Zelensky bullying, frat boy type bullying, I walked by a newsstand in Paris and there was a magazine cover of the Orange Man, and on it the title was L'homme du Moscow, and it was the man of Moscow. So if you're wondering how France and Europe is viewing the US right now, there you go.
I'm probably viewing us as a big bully country like they did Russia at one point. That is crazy, man. Crazy.
New York City. New York? And are you scared to go there? I've heard a lot of Europeans are not traveling to the U.S. right now.
We're not scared, but it could be something that we might as well not have done if it wasn't necessary.
I know
I don't want to go to New York. They said they didn't have to go to New York if it wasn't necessary. They must have been out on.
Can't do anything about it. But as an empathetic Canadian that is afraid of what's going on right now, I just want to share this. I just spent 5 weeks in the U.S. in August and September, and the experience was amazing. You know, American citizens are just like Canadian citizens, good people, you know, for the most part, good values, whether you're right wing, left wing, you carry a gun, you don't, it doesn't matter. Good people. We were in Texas and all the people we met were amazing. But what I see going on right now, again in Minneapolis this morning, where a male nurse was, you know, basically just murdered. It's concerning, and I just don't know where this is all going.
Look, man, at the end of the day, good people are good people, but yep, this is where the truth of the matter is. As long as Trump is in the Oval Office, people are going to be afraid to travel to the United States because we really don't have our shit together. We're really at war with another country. Anything can pop off at any given moment. We can't even control shit that's going on in the United States. We can't even do stuff to help ourselves at this point. So I think some people are still going to travel. Would it put a huge dent in travel? Probably not a huge dent in travel, but it is up for discussion for a lot of people before they actually commit. So that's probably pushing people back, making them a little bit hesitant. And then who else is it to blame? You know, you heard the one guy that says MAGA is definitely carving themselves into a little corner of the world where people just can't stand them at all. Crazy work. Let me know what you think about today's video. Let me know where you watch it from. I'll see you in the comments.